Hey guys, welcome to Barnes Martial Arts First Home Training video. Today we're going to be covering striking set. Let's talk about a little bit about what striking set is. It is a hand technique drill done from a horse stance that teaches students how to isolate certain hand techniques and deliver speed, power, and focus in those techniques. So it starts with the horse stance. How do we do our horse stance? Well, from our set position, a good way to measure the horse stance is to make muscles. If we take note of where the elbows are in that position, that's approximately the distance that our feet are going to go in our horse stance. We want to have a good, stable stance. So when I step out to my left, I bring my hands back to my belt, pinkies on the belt, in fists, and the elbows tucked back. I want to maintain good posture. Head straight up, in line with my hips. We don't want to lean forward during this drill. That throws our power off, and it's going to affect the technique. So we want to keep a good posture. Back straight, head up. Eyes forward. It's important to note where our feet are as well. Again, they're just a little wider than our shoulders, but our toes shouldn't be pigeoned out. They should be pointed straight ahead. And we want to drop our butt down as close to being level with our knees as we can. The strikes are as follows. We begin with a punch, right hand. Punch, left hand. Palm strike. Palm strike. Inward chop. Inward chop. Hammer fist. Hammer fist. Outward chop. This begins by chambering to the opposite shoulder. Outward chop. Tiger claw. Tiger claw. Ridge hand. Ridge hand. Back fist. Back fist. Inward elbow. Inward elbow. Upward elbow. Upward. Downward. We extend the opposite hand, the one that just did the last elbow strike. Raise up. Drop down. Downward elbow. Here. Now, let's take a look at a few of the individual strikes. Or as we go through, we'll take a look at each of the individual strikes and talk about different characteristics of the strike. In the first, the punch, it's a straight punch. We're using these two knuckles of our hand in order to strike a surface, whether it's a person or a target. All right? So the one thing to remember with all of these strikes is that when one goes out, the other one comes back equally strong. It's almost as if we're throwing an elbow strike behind us. So if in the case of the punch, I want to start with both hands back. My hip, my left hip in this case, is going to shift slightly forward and focus that punch right dead ahead of me, utilizing the two knuckles as the striking surface. Okay, punch. Now our palm strike uses the heel of the palm. This is generally done in an upward fashion to someone's chin. Here, we want to keep the thumb tucked along the side, not in front. If it's tucked in front, we're going to get hurt when it hits something. So we want to keep that tucked. Fingers are slightly bent to extend the heel of the palm. And again, we're pulling it back this way, so that the palm heel is extended forward. So the first two sets would look like this. Punch, punch, palm, palm. Now your inward chop, which comes next, utilizes the blade edge of the hand, what we call the blade edge or the knife edge of the hand. From this position where I've done my palm strike, I bring my opposite hand back to my ear. In the kids' classes, we often say this is like answering the telephone. We say, hello, it's for you. So from here, I want to bring this back, palm facing forward. The other hand, of course, is chambered back to my belt. So my palm strike goes from here back to the belt as the inward chop reaches the center line. Same thing on the other side. Palm forward, palm up. Now your hammer fist is pretty simple. Raise the hand up as if you have a hammer in it. We're using the bottom part of the hand as a striking surface. So from my inward chop here, hammer fist. Same thing, hammer fist, straight down. Outward chop. We're using the same striking surface as we did with the inward chop. However, this time the palm is down. So we chamber to the shoulder this way. You can actually rest it right there. From here, this hand, the lead hand, pulls back as the outward chop strikes out, and we stop at the center line here. Same thing on the other side, palm down, chop. Now your tiger claw can be done several ways, but the way that we're preferring to do it in striking set is sideways, utilizing the fingers. Now this would be aimed for a throat or the eyes or something like that. The soft squishy area of the body. You can also grab to the pectoral and the pectoral muscle and the armpit area, right? But we're coming sideways with this, just like this, okay? Same thing on the other side. Back fist, chambers just like the outward knife hand, only the hand is closed. We're using the striking surface, these two knuckles, top two knuckles. So from here, strike. Again, strike. From here, ridge hand, we're going to the inside of our hand. This time we want to tuck the thumb underneath so that we don't strike that. And we're using this first knuckle. This is an odd strike. It's usually aimed towards the head or the neck. So when we strike here, it comes this way. Palm down, right? From here to here. This way, right? Inward elbow strike. Inward elbow strike. Upward elbow strike. Upward. This one's kind of like scratching your back. Downward elbow, we extend that last hand, drop into the palm, extend, drop into the palm. Let's look at the 3 elbow strikes one more time. Okay, first is your inward elbow. Inward is a short motion. It's almost as if you're bringing this other fist back over your shoulder. We're striking with this last portion of the forearm. Okay, so here, this way, across. Same thing. Kind of like our coughing or sneezing, like we've been told to protect ourselves from the virus, right? So inward elbow once again, inward, inward, upward elbow like scratching your back, here, again scratching your back, here, downward elbow. We often call this plucking a bird from the sky, and the reason is once this hand is extended, I reach straight up, open-handed, come down, and squeeze just before I hit. This adds power, this torquing action adds power to the strike. Boom. Again, up, down. From there, that is the end of your striking set. So we're going to do it one more time, medium speed, and give you guys an example of what each strike should look like, how you should breathe. And keep in mind that this is a requirement for all of our classes, Little Dragons, juniors, and adults. I'll expect different performance levels from the Little Dragons than I would from the adults, but every one of the classes is required to learn this technique, okay? Follow along. Striking set. Thank you. And that concludes today's lesson on striking set. In conclusion, we have more videos coming up depending on how long this isolation lasts. Each of those videos is going to take something that we've been working on in our curriculum and examining it in detail so that by the time that we come back to classes, we are ready for our stripe test, which has been delayed because of the break. But more importantly, our skills are developing because we're able to break the techniques down by the numbers. So, in other words, the striking set that we just did today, in a future video, we're going to cover how to do it, for instance, from your stance. Boom, boom, and so on, okay, from different stances. Kicking drills will be coming up, footwork drills will also be coming up, so watch the Facebook page. Always, if you have any questions, email me at barnesmartialarts@yahoo.com, Facebook Messenger me, or call me, 570-332-4377. Once again, thank you. Everybody stay safe, and I hope to see you guys real soon. Love you guys.